Ryan Bingham, man. Come on over, Ryan. Let's talk a little bit. That was a song called Too Deep to Fill off the album Tomorrowland. The first song earlier in the night was called Western Shore off the same album, Tomorrowland. Ryan, thanks so much for coming in, brother.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Great job. Now, you got it? You got those headsets?
I can get there.
Where are you from, man?
I'm originally from Hobbs, New Mexico.
Hobbs, New Mexico.
Yep.
Okay. And now, what is your involvement in the movie Crazy Heart? What you did you do all the music for it?
I just did a couple of songs. T-Bone Burnett and Stephen Bruton produced the music, but I just wrote a couple of songs for it. Yeah.
Is it the title song?
Yeah, I wrote
okay.
the Weary Kind song. Yeah.
Now, did you get nominated for an Oscar for that?
Yeah.
Did you win?
Yeah.
You won. I'm trying to bring the audience to a journey.
I was surprised. I was just as surprised. I promise.
No, I knew it. I was trying to do like, hey, listen, guys, I wanted to have a good ending for the whole conversation. No, so describe that, man. Like, what's that like?
Oh, it was nuts. It was very surreal. You know, it was something that I never ever, in my wildest dreams, would ever think I'd have, anything
Nobody
to do with
does.
something
It's
like
like,
that. It's crazy,
Soup
really
to nuts. How long did that take from the time you got the call to record for the movie to when you won the Oscar? How long is that? A couple years?
Man, it actually kind of went by pretty quick, or it seemed like that to me. I was on the road so much traveling. I just remember that I got a call from the director, Scott Cooper, that directed it, and I sat down, or we went and had lunch together, and he gave me a copy of the script, and he told me a little bit about the film and what he had in mind, and that he was looking for some songs, and just gave me the script, and I went on the road with it for a couple of months, and started working on the Weary Kind song after reading the script. And I was back at home and sitting on my couch in L.A. and didn't really have anything going on at the time. And I called him up and I said, hey man, I got this song I'd like to send you, see what you think. And he said, well, where are you? Are you in L.A.? I said, yes. He said, well, why don't you come over here to T-Bone Burnett's house? We're sitting over here. Why don't you just bring the song over with you?
Now, you a fan of T-Bone? You a fan of T-Bone?
Big fan.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Big time. So I got in my car and I drove over there, and I just figured I'd drop the seat. I just made a little demo copy of it, and just figured I'd drop it off. And
how do you make a demo copy? Just you, like in your garage or something?
Yeah, just
guitar?
at home.
Okay.
Yeah, just on home on a little tape recorder,
And you dropped that off to him and T-Bone, right?
Yeah, knocked on the door, and T-Bone answered the door, and he said, well, why don't you just come in and play it for us? And
that's so cool.
So I went and sat on the couch, and Jeff Bridges was there, and Stephen Bruton, and a whole bunch of people were in the room, So it was kind of put me on the hot seat there for a second, but I played them the song, and they liked it, and we sat down, and me and T-Bone worked on the song a little bit more and finished it up, and that was kind of it, And then they filmed. They took several months to film the movie, and then it seemed like the next year all that stuff happened, and then.
Jeez.
Boom, so it's pretty quick. So then the character Jeff Bridges plays in that movie, and the job he does playing him. What an amazing! I know he's much older than you, but there are a lot of parts of that guy you can relate to on some level.
Oh, totally. I mean, when I read that script, I really wrote the song based on Jeff Bridges' character. I mean, and really. My father was very much that character growing up.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and a lot of his friends were. So I've been around them characters my whole life.
Is that where you get the voice from, your old man, you think? Well, where you get this voice from? Like, it's like the most unique voice.
Yeah, hanging out with him with too many nights in the roadhouse,
Yeah. I mean, it's a combination of Springsteen, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson's got everything in there. Yeah, Dylan, absolutely,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of your songs, I mean, they tell amazing stories. Have a lot of people compared you to Bob Dylan, like the Western Bob Dylan type thing?
You get that sometimes, but for me, those guys, it's just such big shoes to fill, It's hard for me to kind of even imagine that.
If you're thinking about that, it'll make you nuts, kind of, right?
Yeah, I just... But, I don't know. It's songwriting's always been a real special thing to me, and it's been for a lot of other reasons other than kind of just playing music or having fun. It's always been a real therapeutic kind of thing for me, and writing songs and helping me just kind of, I kind of grew up on my own, so it really kind of was my savior and just helping me kind of figure out my life growing up as a kid and, processing things in the world and stuff like that. So it's really just been a big part of my life in that way more than anything.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
And have you been, like, do you arrive at that voice of yours by, like, I don't know, it sounds like you've been screaming your whole life. Have you been smoking
You're
and
bored,
screaming
right?
forever?
Yeah.
Like
I've
start smoking at 5 and just yell every word you say?
Yeah, well, a lot of people ask me. I think it really came from when I started playing in my early 20s and playing those bars. The kind of places I played were these really rough, dive roadhouse bars that people didn't go there to listen to music. They went there to get drunk and fight.
And fight. Dude, I've done the comedy version of that.
Yeah. So and the smoke was from the ceiling down to there.
Right.
And there's whiskey all night, and there's really crappy PA systems, and you're just you're screaming every night. And me, I was still really trying to figure out how to do all that stuff, how to play guitar and how to write songs, and even how to sing. I didn't even have a clue about how to sing, so it was. I think the combination of not knowing how to sing, and in those type of environments and all that, and just night after night after night, after about 6 or 7 years, it just kind of,
the first gig he plays in Crazy Heart's a bowling alley, and I've done stand-up in bowling alleys. Did you ever play a bowling alley?
Yeah, I did. That's how that whole gig came apart. Is originally we were just involved I was involved in writing a song, and then the director and a couple of guys came out and saw us play a show a couple of weeks later, and he's like, "Man, I got a scene with Jeff Bridges where he needs a band for a bowling alley." And I said, "Well, shit, we played a bunch of bowling alleys. We can do that."
What was your Oscar speech like? Was it short, sweet? What was it like?
It was pretty short. They get you in a room a couple of weeks before that, and they say, if you happen to win or whatever, we'd really appreciate
who
it
does
if you
that?
keep it really short.
So you get nominated, and the committee or the Oscar committee brings you in and says, "Listen, if you win," they actually tell you, if you win, be prepared on the length and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, do they coach you on to make it short?
They had a whole spiel. They had a whole thing, big screen
What
TV
do they
in
tell
there,
you?
and they had like examples of other speeches from
No
past
kidding.
Oscars. And they're
Really?
Like, so look at how so Billy Crystal presents this. This is what we're looking for the show.
So
and,
they coach you
oh yeah,
on the
totally.
speech?
And they're like, keep it 30 seconds or a minute, whatever
Oh,
it is,
that
a minute.
sucks. It's like
whatever,
it should be spontaneous.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it. I've never heard that insight before. I never heard somebody say that.
Well, you know how it is, and anytime you have any kind of like music or art or anything artistic or comedy or stuff like that, the business sometimes just sucks the life out of it.
It's true. It does. No, where do you keep the Oscar?
Man, I got it in a box up in the attic right now.
Do you really?
Yeah.
See, I would totally exploit that for broads. Like people put it away. Like if I ever won an Oscar, like when you walked into my house, there would be a sign that said, "The man who owns the place you just walked into won an Oscar," and there'd be an arrow. Turn this way 5 feet, go right this way, and it'd be on a big like thing with a light on it, and it'd be totally just to get chicks.
Well, first I kept it on the back of the toilet seat because I thought that was hilarious.
That would be great.
But then people started coming on and going, "Oh, well, you just put it on the toilet seat so everybody can see it." 'Cause everybody goes in the bathroom. I was like, "All right, I'll put it in the box, you bastard."
You can't don't let those people influence you. That's fantastic to take a dump right next to an Oscar. I think that would be wonderful.
That's amazing.
Did you ever consider using it on a chick?
No, I was married at the time. I'm
your
sure
wife
some
could get
friends
into it.
did. Yeah.
Kind of like treat it like the Stanley Cup. Like you give it to your buddies, and they do whatever they can. They defile it.
Oh man.
But no, that's a great story. Now, have you done any other work for movies and stuff?
I just recently have. I've done a couple of things, but nothing that's come out yet or anything that's really happened. It's been, it was just kind of one of those once in a lifetime things I got to be a part of, and
it's amazing.
Not like I haven't been doing much.
It's an amazing movie, but the music has so much to do with it, just as much as the great performance by Jeff Bridges and the writing and directing. Great piece of work. Well, listen, you are really great, man. I'd love to have you back anytime.
Cool, thanks for having me.
Please come back. Again, the songs you heard tonight were Western Shore and Too Deep to Fill, and both off the album Tomorrowland. Now, how do we find the album? And can we find you on Twitter or any of that stuff?
Yeah, Twitter, BinghamMusic.com. I got all that stuff on there. At Ryan Bingham's our Twitter, Facebook at Ryan Bingham, all that stuff.
You got the whole spiel?
Yeah, we got all the stuff.
And again, the album is Tomorrowland, and that's Ryan Bingham. Great job, buddy.
Thanks
so much.
it.
Hopefully we'll see you again.